We're going to have a great sunset today. And this afternoon, we're in Sukhothai, around 3 hours drive south of Lampang, where my wife's parents live. And this will be my last photo opportunity. And this has been the place that I've been wanting to get to. I'll just pan around. This is a huge historical site here. There are so many temples here. I'm not Buddhist, but this is such a photogenic place. You've got harsh light, and around 5:30 we're going to get the sun just setting on the horizon there, and we're just going to get some golden glow. So I've got my Nikon Z6 II. I'm carrying the 24 to 85mm lens, but I've also got my Viltrox 16mm in my backpack. I'm riding around on a bicycle, which I haven't done for nearly 3 years, so it's a little bit wobbly on the bicycle. You can see behind me here, this is my first photo of the day. I've got these hedges just coming in, the temple in the background there. I'm off to a good start. So let's see what I can photograph. I can't have two tripods here, so I'm very limited in the amount that I can have the camera on the tripod or just have the Osmo. So most of the time, I'll just walk around, take photos, switch the Osmo on and tell you about the area that I'm in. And we'll try to get different angles on them. So let's hop onto the bicycle again and keep moving. When you're at a place like the Sukhothai Historical Park, you really have to think about how you compose your images, because this will easily make or break your images. You need to add a wow factor. Understand, many photographers come here and they capture amazing images. So if you want your images to stand out, really think about how you're going to frame your images. This image here, it looks fine, but there's no wow factor to it. I've just got a single dimensional image. I've got the trees on the side here, but it's only a one-dimensional image. This is the same temple now. I've walked around the side. Now I've got the temple in a 3D image. You can still see the tree on the side there. There's a bit of the drainage channel there just on the bottom left. We've got the trees in the background. But this gives you a much better idea of what this temple looks like, because you don't just see one side of it. You're seeing two sides, so it's a three-dimensional image. Now this one here, it's front on. Look how I've framed this image here. I've got an old brick wall in the front here. Then you can see just a small pathway. And the temple is half hidden by all these trees. And what these trees are doing are they're framing it. It's like a little curve, and the temple is just rising up in the center. Now late afternoons is great, but it poses a huge challenge where at this time of the year, you'll have clear skies, but you can work with the clear skies even with the harsh late afternoon sun. Here I've only got 2/3 of this scene. The left hand side here is exactly the same. There are 4 pillars, but the sun is just shining so brightly that I couldn't add into this image. It was just too hard to work with, so I came right up to the left hand pillar and took the image this way. The Buddha statue is right on the left hand side, but these big pillars are just angled in, forcing your eye to come to this statue. Now when taking photos, don't just always take in landscape orientation. Look at this image here now. I didn't move. All I did was just rotate the camera into portrait orientation. This looks so amazing because now, even though I've got a lot of harsh light, I've just got 2 pillars, but now this statue is much more highlighted. Now look at the right hand image. This was taken at least 15 minutes after the first set of images I took of this one. The afternoon sun is much lower to the horizon. Look, I've got nice reflections. I've used the tree to give me some context to this temple. And now I have the tree and the temple reflecting in the water. Here is the same image in landscape orientation. Can you see how this image looks quite bland compared to the portrait image where I've just isolated the temple? Sometimes isolating a temple is good. Sometimes including the surroundings is better. Now you're never going to get everything going your way. I really wanted to frame the background ruins here. But these 2 old ruins here, the one on the left and the one on the right, they are facing east. It's getting close to sunset. Buddha statues always face east. They greet the morning sun. I had to choose what I was going to do. Was I going to work with the harsh light, or was I going to work with late afternoon sunlight and just light up all this scene. I decided to work with the late afternoon sun so I'd see the blue sky. Mix and match your images. Don't always have all your photos from the same direction. It gets boring. It's 5 o'clock. I've only been to 2 temples. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know that I have an affinity. I love photographing trees. Take a look at this photo that I've just photographed here. And just before that, look what's behind me here. Can you see this footbridge here? It's running across, and there's trees behind me here. I've just photographed that. Now, this location here really struck me. And this is, later on, I'll talk in the video that I thought I was going to come back here for sunset, but it just didn't work out. I have 4 different viewpoints of it. When you're traveling, sometimes you might never come back to that place. So think about photographing from different viewpoints. Here you can see there's a boardwalk leading into this little island where there's a few trees. Now I've walked closer to the boardwalk and I've got it much more pronounced, but it's still coming into the trees. Now I'm just facing front on. Now look at this one here. This image I took before I got to the boardwalk. Look at the amount of harsh light, and this is why I thought that this image was going to be great for sunset, but the light was just too harsh. Can you see how all these different perspectives really play? This one here is so different to this image here. This is very nice and colorful. I've got beautiful reflections. Whereas this image here, I don't have a lot of color, but it gives you a feel of what I was experiencing. There was a lot of haze in the sky. It's a very soft image. Both images are great, but they show you a totally different feel. Now, I'm not using matrix metering today. I'm either using center weighted or spot. I rarely use spot metering, but the light is so harsh that at times I have to use spot metering. Now, something that most people don't realize is that Buddha statues face towards the east. The reason is that the Buddha statues face east for the sunrise, and they face their back to the sunset. So they greet the morning sun. You'll never see a Buddha statue face west. Never. Not in Thailand. Let's keep moving. I've got to take this push bike back at 6 o'clock. So we'll keep bicycling around and see what else we can photograph. Now, I was saying before, I have an affinity for trees. I love photographing trees. I was just bicycling around, looking for another temple, 20 past 5, but I just couldn't go past these trees here. And got a pan around behind me here. Look at this tree here. See it there? Wow. It just came out beautiful. Now, I'm still using my Nikon 24-85, and this is something that I used to remind people when you're photographing, when you're out and about. Don't always go for the wide shot. I'd love to put my 16mm Viltrox lens on here and capture everything, but I think the detail in the trees here would be lost because there'd be so much other stuff around that it would just detract from it. Now, see these trees? I just photographed them, not in landscape orientation, but in portrait. I've got this golden light on the tree here, and at 24mm, I'm cutting off about here. I don't want to go all the way up here. The reason being is it will just distort it. You see this beautiful tree here? We've got exposed roots down here. It's just going to the left, but the majority is going to the right there. Now, I bracketed this in 5 shots because I just want to make sure that I get all the detail. I could have gotten away with a 3 shot, but you know, it is so far from home that I just can't come back here. So I'd rather play safe than sorry. Thing that you've got to remember, look at the details sometimes. Sometimes getting in close is great. Going down low sometimes is great. Here, going down low wouldn't have given me what I want. If you like this video so far, give it a big thumbs up. Really appreciate all your support. 25 to 6. I'm going to have to ride like the wind to get back. Drop my bicycle off and come back here. I think I've got a very good idea where I'm going to photograph sunset. But I thought I'd finish off here with photographing one of the last temples here. When I finished photographing the tree here, I panned over to this temple here. And I framed the temple just to the third of halfway. Look at that golden light here now. You see that? The sun is just peeking through these trees here. So I'm going to have to get my tail that way. Close to around 750 meters. Bicycle like crazy. My bicycle's just there. I haven't ridden the bicycle for years, I tell you, like, a bit of a hairy moment sometimes, like, quickly go over there, drop everything, come back. And I think I'm going to frame those 2 trees that were in that lake there with the footbridge leading to it. I think that's going to be my composition. But I'm human. I might change. I didn't like the wind. The sun just set so quickly. Look behind me here. Beautiful. I just got a couple of great images and I'm really happy about them. And for these last shots here, because I was using a very low shutter speed, I was using my Fotopro Origin Plus travel tripod. I was shooting at 1/40th of a second or 1/50th of a second. I just can't shoot that low handheld. Even with vibration reduction on my lens, I have the shakes. Probably see that in the video here. So this tripod weighs just over 1 kilo with the bald head. I've had on my backpack here all afternoon. My shoulders aren't sore. I'm going to take one last photo from here and move on back quickly to the bike shop. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and appreciate the content, give it a big thumbs up. Haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel? Please do. Really helps me out. Thank you so much.